When it comes specifically to Kurt's screaming, I think Bleach is the best sample of how intense his screams could be. Does it take a certain technique to be able to scream like that, or how is he going about doing that?
It's not a technique thing. It's a natural thing. You either have it or you don't. It's your voice does it, your throat does it, or it doesn't. I mean, yeah, it's a technique, but I mean, he didn't have enough practice or live experience or anything else to have anything that you would call a technique. He was just natural. He had a good scream, and I was very impressed with it right from the get-go. I thought, this guy's got a great scream. He's got a good voice. I could tell that he had an interesting ear for melody, because what melodies there were interesting melodies and didn't always follow the guitar riff. So there was a little bit of thought in it. So you could just tell that he had a natural rock scream that was really good. And that was obvious right from the first chorus of If You Must, as you immediately you'd go, whoa, okay, listen to his voice, going up a notch here. So, yeah, I liked his singing right off the bat. And I believe I probably said so at the time because I remember Dale Crover agreeing with me about that exact thing.
I guess from a technical standpoint, when you're recording someone who's screaming, do you have to set the mic up in a different way than when they're not screaming, just in order so it doesn't boom out? Like, how do you go about that technically?
Technically, if I'm dealing with somebody who screams a lot, I shy away from condenser microphones entirely, which puts me slightly on the outside of a lot of recording technique, I guess. I favor dynamic microphones for rock screamers. It just sounds more natural to me. It's less sibilant. You don't get as much sort of spitty, sizzly artifacts. What we call sibilance isn't as prevalent. It doesn't tend to be as shrill. Condenser microphones, which are generally higher fidelity, tend to be not very flattering to a lot of singers who are screamy. They can make them sound very shrill and unpleasant. Strangely enough, if you give somebody a Beta 58 or a Sennheiser 421 or just a Shure SM58 or something like that, maybe put a foam thing over it so they can eat the mic, as we say, which gives them more of a feeling just like they're on stage because they're singing like this instead of into a mic that's far away. Mm-hmm. You get the proximity effect of the microphone working in your favor, but the pop filter that's over the mic is keeping the plosives from happening. Long story short, you can set up, and I've done this many times, I'll set up like 4 or 5 microphones just in a row and I'll say, okay, sing me a couple of lines of the loudest part of the song, and we'll just go through and we'll just A-B them, and we'll pick the mic. And generally with screamy singers, it's going to be a dynamic microphone. And all the expensive condensers are going to be left behind. Now, that's just my experience. Your mileage may vary. Mm-hmm. But in Kurt's case, in 1988, most likely I just had him singing into an SM58 with a pop filter. And I might have even let him hold it in his hand. Don't think so, though, because he would not have been a hand holder. He was used to playing with a guitar, so he would never have sung into the mic with it holding in his hand. I have other people do that. Mark Lanigan sang into an SM58 holding it in his hand for the Winding Sheet record. Sometimes the simple, obvious microphone is actually the best microphone to use, even though you may want to use the $5,000 microphone. It's not always the best choice. It really depends on the voice and the technique that's involved.
Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. All the videos on this channel are original. I'm the one conducting all the interviews and editing all the videos together. So if you guys like what you see and you want to support, the best way to do so is honestly just to subscribe. Lots more to come.